People used to think 10 years ago that natural gas could be a bridge fuel. And the reason that it could be a bridge fuel was if you burned it in a laboratory, it produced half as many greenhouse gas emissions as oil or as coal. And so the idea was, well, it's half as bad, so we'll use that as a bridge to something that's zero. Of course, there are no leaks in the lab. And basically, if more than 3% of it leaks, then it's as bad as coal. It's like 3.2%, it's as bad as coal. And people thought that somewhere around 0.5% to 1% was leaking, and it turns out those were wildly wrong estimates. And so natural gas actually leaks in the United States of America, which is by far the best producer, somewhere north of 3%. But my point is this: it ain't a bridge fuel. We have to actually deal with getting off natural gas as fast as possible. The way to think about what's going on in climate is it goes like this until you get to a break point. It's more like stretching a rubber band. It stretches until it breaks. And then you're in a different place. How do you think about resilience versus prevention? And the point is, resilience, we don't know what that means, because what happens if we explode the tundra bomb? The whole point is not to do it, not to figure out what it costs in suffering and money afterwards. We'd all like to think natural gas is a solution because people make a lot of money from natural gas in the United States. That's why they want to think that. Tough. It's not true. If you actually look at what happens as a result of using natural gas, it's as bad as coal. If you really study in the real world what's actually going on. That's the truth. And people talk about how we can reduce that, but the truth is it's as bad as coal and we have to get off it. That's why it has to be a climate emergency on day one. That's why it's priority one. That's why we have to go around the world. I think it's time for us to start telling the truth. We can do this. That's what you guys should know. I'm not despairing about this one bit. We have to do it, but we can do it. And if we do it, we'll create millions of good paying jobs. We'll be healthier and more just. We will be a much better country. And we will lead the world in a moral necessity to reestablish who the United States of America is and who Americans are. So I don't feel one bit bad about this. This is a great opportunity for us. But if we blow it, we've blown it in a way that's almost hard to describe. And talking about it doesn't mean a darn thing to me. It really doesn't mean a darn thing. My question is, what are you going to do? What are you willing to do? And that's a question of priorities. And I'm willing to do every legal thing. That's the truth. You guys, this will be so fun. Good grief. When is the last time America kicked ass doing the right thing? We're like the Empire in the Star Wars movie. Do what we want or we will shoot you. Since when is that America? I mean, serious. When is the last time we stood up for what was right and did it and led the world? And isn't that the whole point behind America? Seriously. So why don't we just go have a ton of fun and kick some ass? Why not? That's what I want to do.